pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item on the agenda is 88 Main Street. Is anyone here for that application?
I think that's me, maybe.
Maybe not.
46, I don't know. I think that might be me.
Nobody's willing to own up to it, huh?
No, I haven't been there that long. Takes me a couple years to figure out where I'm at. As long as it's Charlie and Cooper, I think that's me.
There's- There's one problem that I see with your application, and that's the projection sign. The dimensions are correct, 12 square feet, but the statute requires that the height has to, the maximum height is 4 feet, and maximum width is 3 feet. So you've got it around, you have 4 by 3 instead of 4 by 3.
That would be a problem.
Yeah. Is this sign made up already?
Yeah. It's a very nice looking sign.
Yeah.
I have to measure it again. I don't, we might have went a little small on it, but.
So it's not the square inches,
What's that? It's not square yet.
it's not the square inches that is the issue.
I mean, I think it's under the square footage allowed.
Yeah, let me see.
Same thing.
What did it say? Size 36. 30. Well, I think this is,
It's just where the sign holder is that we have, that's been there for years. That sign is better designed to be a longer sign and a shorter sign. Because if it hangs down too far, it's gonna hit the building when it swings, if it swings.
I misread this. This looks like it's okay.
And this is 3 feet by
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, so this is fine. I'm sorry. I misread this.
That's right, how you 4 feet, 3 feet.
Man, you had your nerves.
Yeah,
I need eye surgery next week.
Okay, who are you anyways?
I'm Gene Berman. Nice to
Steve
meet you.
who?
Gene Berman.
Gene Burnham.
Yeah.
Rich Bussey, nice to meet you,
Nice
Gene.
meeting you. So
And almost all the other characters around here.
after my surgery, I'll be able to read it. Does anybody have any comments about this?
I just looked at the, you said, yeah, I just checked the regulation,
Yeah.
3 feet wide, 4 feet.
we're given a sample of the wall sign material. This is the hanging sign and the wall sign.
That's
The
the,
big sign, the wall sign.
yeah, that's the big
If anyone,
surface mounted sign.
when anyone wants to see the product, there it is.
The only problem I got is there's a bird's nest behind the sign that's already there. So, I'm gonna have to wait till the birds leave, put damn sign up. Clark's had the old sign there, you know, and they had, light tubes coming out of that sign. Since then, you know, all the light's gone, but the holes are there. So now the birds go in there, and, have nests. So I gotta wait till the birds leave, so I can put up half the sign.
I move that we approve the signs.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
That was a motion. I didn't hear a motion.
Motion to approve the sign,
The wall sign?
the projecting sign.
I thought we said the projecting sign was not according to regulations.
No, I misread that.
What's that?
I misread it. It's fine.
Projecting signs?
Projecting sign is fine.
It says 12 square feet, height 4 feet, width 3 feet.
It's only 3
It's,
feet
yeah,
wide, and it's 2.5 feet.
2.5.
I don't think he has to
So it's
stretch
not
it.
4 by 3.
No, I don't
Very
wanna
hard to
stretch
stretch
it.
that.
Don't wanna stretch it, I don't wanna hit the building. with the
That's
sign.
what I thought I heard. Okay. Oh, yeah.
And,
It's 3 by 2.5, yeah, okay.
and the wall sign,
I approve on that vote.
the both signs?
The projecting sign.
Projecting sign.
And then, yeah.
Okay, any comments about the wall sign?
And it's over the old area,
Yeah, it's gonna cover the
So
whole
that's-
sign.
and, uh, 2 feet, 2 by, yeah, that's a 7, 12, 10, 2, yeah. Yeah, because what was confusing, the zoning application said replace 4 by 3 sign with new sign, same size. It's not, it's smaller. The application says replace 4 by 3 sign with new sign, same size and location.
That's
So
one
it's smaller,
33.
Right?
It's gonna be small, yeah, it's gonna be small.
That's what I think I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that the sign that might have been there before was like a 3x4. Then I got out there and measured it. I had to, get the ladder out, and I got up there and measured the darn thing, and I don't want it to be 4 feet long, because it's gonna hit the building. Keep the sign up, so. But I was pretty sure I had 12 feet to play with, so I just said maybe it'd be 3x4, but it's 3 by 2.5.
Okay,
Sounds good to me
okay,
for the front wall sign.
okay,
Yeah. Should I move it, approve?
okay.
Oh,
You second?
yeah, sure, I second.
All in favor?
I thought mine was no.
Okay, both signs are approved. Thank you.
All right,
Good sign from it.
all right, thank you, sir.
Good to go.
Have a good night, guys, thank you.
See you, Rich.
139 Main Street?
Hello.
Is Mr. Lane?
Mr. Lyon, yes.
So you're taking the space where Muskrat Hill was?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You don't have a big dog, do you?
I do, but I'm not bringing
You
it.
got to replace it.
I have a yellow cat on the deck on it. Too long to be for 'em.
So it looks like it's just a reformulation of the existing signs.
Yes,
Yeah.
looks like it.
Same size, same location. We're still putting new hardware, new stainless steel hardware that's rusted out.
So,
Any questions, comments on this?
It seems,
Right?
fine.
Want to make a motion?
Sure, I will look at it.
and I'll second it.
Both these signs, if they're,
I'll second it.
be approved.
This is a single, one sign.
What's that?
This is one sign, it's
That's front and back in the right hand,
front,
yes.
front and back on.
So it's rotated, I'm on top and then Willis Money's on the bottom and the other side's the opposite, same as it is now.
Okay. Right,
Okay,
second,
I second it, yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Thank you.
Yep, appreciate it, and I'll take a look.
Thank you.
Go to Doubleday Court. Hi.
Hi.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
just have to put the names down.
Yes.
Did you take this idea from New York City?
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, we kind of took it from Troy, New York, but yes, it's a thing in many other places.
My
Yeah.
son hasn't been in the bank he works for in
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Mhm.
Will this be divided up into multiple offices, or how?
Yes, so it's going to be, we have some private offices, and then we have several communal co-working areas where people have shared amenities. So there's like a kitchen space, so you have free coffee and tea all day. It's also, it's also meant for remote workers to come in with their laptop, pick where they want to sit, and be amongst other people working. There's conference rooms that people can rent from the public or who are working there. A printer for people to use, things of that nature, so a shared
Shared space.
community co-working space, yeah.
So, we calculated how big this sign is, like, you need to know pi and pi r squared. is it?
It's pi r squared.
All right,
Yeah, so 3.147
The R would be a little,
or something.
3.1415, but yeah.
Yeah, something in there, so what does it come out to?
This is, pi would be half the diameter, or
Right.
half the diameter, so this is 246. So it'd be 23 times 5, that seems,
It's well under 40 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought, but I think we should have know exactly what it is before we approve
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
So, I think that's the first circular sign that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I remember.
You're throwing, curveballs at us.
Yes, I'm glad
Which is
that you knew
appropriate.
how to do the math because I
Surprise.
couldn't have known. Yeah, so there was a rectangular sign there previously, and we're switching it to a circular sign.
But you don't have the stitching of a baseball in your circle there.
No,
Thank God.
No, yes, we're moving away from that.
That's good to know.
We do have a view of the baseball park though, and of the batting cages as well, so if you need baseball while you're there, you can find it.
This looks fine to me.
Yeah,
I move to approve.
second.
All in favor? It's approved. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
28 Railroad Street.
Good afternoon,
Hi.
I'm Jim Jordan, I'm an architect. And I guess I'm here to get your advice.
So this will be 3 long-term residents built on the same lot as the Railroad Hotel.
That's correct.
So this is the same tax map, right?
Yes.
Interesting. So this is, it's gonna be a mixed residential commercial use, right?
Yes.
Which is okay in a commercial, in that district.
Yes.
I guess the first question I would have is, where the parking for the apartments were, I heard somebody saying it was, you preferred to have it around back, or how is that going to be?
Well, I appeared before the Historic Preservation Architecture Review Board.
Right.
One of the comments, I don't think it was a mandate, one of the comments was that one of the members of the board thought that the garage should be at the rear of the.
Oh, these are, oh, okay.
Should be at the rear of
Oh.
the building rather than the front.
I see,
Right.
Nah, well, that's that's their domain. Now, these are gonna be 2-bedroom?
2-bedroom, 2 stories, and they're long-term residents. The owner tells me, like, for example, they'd like to have people that would be working at Bassett to be in these units.
I would probably think that that's appropriate, having the parking in front, Gene, because if down the road, the owner wanted to subdivide and sell off those apartment buildings, the issue would be, would they be sharing a driveway in front of the inn and then around back, and then you get all sorts of legal questions, of access and right-of-ways and stuff, and this way it's clean and could be easily subdivided and sold off to another owner, the 3 apartments, with the access to the garages from the front. And it is a commercial district, it's not like a residential district where we might, now, and we're talking about, because we deal with site plans here, so the driveways become our responsibility, not the architectural feature, but it is a commercial and district that we have, we approved parking 4 for the distillery from the side street directly in front, so it's not like we're, breaking some rules or something here.
There's no basement.
No, it's not on grade.
Let me see.
I can't find
There
it.
are no, well, yeah, I'm making architectural comments, no doors out the back, only.
There are going to be doors on the back.
Okay.
That was one of the comments from the architectural board.
Okay, for safety reasons, and also if somebody had children, they want to go out the back door to play, because that's a yard space in the back of the room.
One thing I should point out about the parking in front is that there are front yard setback requirements in all districts, including the commercial districts. And normally it's 10 feet, or it's the average
Of this
buildings in 200. So on this street, the only other building we have is the railroad structure next door, which is very close to the street. So
Yeah,
in the drawing we have here, if we're going to fit a car in front of this structure, it can be very close to the road, but it can't be, as the drawing depicts, right at the property line. It's still going to be a setback of, I can't quite calculate it, it looks like a couple of feet.
We can move.
have to be pushed. Yeah,
Right, it looks like about maybe 4 feet further back than depicted, just in order to fit a car there. But we'd have to actually like measure and find the pin,
Right,
determine that, but, so I'm not saying you have to push way back, but as depicted on the line, if that's just enough room for a car, it'll have to be a few feet deeper.
Okay, so we need to find the property line.
Right,
Set back 4 feet, a minimum of 4 feet.
well, not, the way I have it determined, it's based on the average of the other buildings from the street, so I'll have to go and find whatever markings I can, or old surveys. I've been looking at the files and found some documents, but when we come down to that, we'll have a precise measurement that it might be 3 foot and 6 inches
We
or
have no
something.
problem moving it.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up that there'll be a little zhuzhing.
because you need to have this, the driveway in front has to be a parking space for the apartment.
That's
so-
correct.
Right.
Okay.
I received an email from Cindy Falk that this has gone to the trustees to amend the special use permit that was granted to the hotel so that this could be built. So we're both reviewing this as preliminary to give guidance, but it's also been referred to us to give a recommendation to the trustees. And trustees ask for our opinion on the following points: the process for additional required reviews, a determination of whether the application is complete for those reviews, the need for a consultant or consultants to evaluate the proposed use, and our evaluation of the proposed use in consideration of the criteria for special use permits. We'll go through the criteria, in a few minutes.
Okay.
We also have to vote to approve the trustees acting as lead agency for SECA. So I'd like to get that one out of the way. So I move that we have no objection for the Board of Trustees acting as lead SECA agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Where does Willow Brook come under this property?
It's on the drawing.
It's on this. Oh, okay, there it
It's
is,
right
yeah.
there. It's gonna go under the middle.
So no basement, huh?
No.
Okay.
Chris, have you gone over with Mr. Jordan the requirements for the full site plan? I don't know if you've seen these.
No, I've been giving him a bunch of, I've given him links to it, but I didn't go through the whole.
That's fine, that's preliminary. Before you leave, I want to give you a copy of the requirements. There's multiple factors that have to go into the plan.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to make sure you have that. So, review of the first question from the trustees. And this memo also went to HPARB and the ZBA in case there are any variances required. I don't know if there will be. The process for additional required reviews, we just have to do a site plan review. Answers to that. Where the application is complete. No, we don't have the site plan yet. Does anybody think that we would need a consultant for this? Seems like it's straightforward.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay. And
Well, the one thought I have, how big is the Willowbrook culvert underneath that area?
It's not very big.
Because
It should be bigger.
if we had a hurricane or something and, the water comes, and that's, like, it's gonna come right through that property.
I think
And,
the survey, we had a survey done,
uh-huh.
and it's on the survey. I think it's 36 inches.
This is 60,
Okay, 36 inches in diameter,
this is 60,
the culvert.
it says 60.
I'm sorry, it's on here, it's 60 inches.
Oh, 6, so 5 feet. But is that's coming out,
We're
that's
going,
the culvert under the street though, is it, or is this the entire? Okay, up here it's 60, yeah, 5 feet, okay, 60-inch culvert. I don't know in terms of how that gets involved, but that would be the trustees when they maybe do the environmental portion of the secret. So they would be the ones who would have to, but again, would there be an expert required to provide, is that sufficient, safe, appropriate? I don't know myself, but that seems like it's enough, but again, we're having weird weather, in the world these days, and people getting flooded out all over the place in certain, but I don't know how that works. What would be if it even was an overflow, would it ever get into houses, or I don't know.
well, we hope that, I think our thought is to build it out of reinforced concrete.
I'm sorry.
To build it out of reinforced concrete,
Oh, okay.
and probably be a box culvert. And you can make it larger than the volume of 60, for the 60 inch.
But I guess I think we don't want to require something, just because I'm not an engineer and I'm not an environment, a flood sign, I'm just thinking if they want to know, is there any technical advisor that is needed? Do we need advice on that particular point now, the village probably knows because they did work down around farmer's market and under Main Street. So what, you know,
Under
if it's-
Doubleday Field,
what's that?
goes under Doubleday Field,
And under Doubleday Field, so,
my backyard.
I mean, if it matches the size of what's under Doubleday Field and under Main Street, then there's no issue, but I don't have that information, the size of the culverts there. It's the same stream, it goes down under the road, so, you know, I'm averse to hiring consultants because it's, you know, when you don't need to, you know, just when you don't need to, I guess. But, so maybe this is an easily answerable question for the village to determine that 60-inch culvert under this property is as the same size or larger than what's going under Doubleday Field and what's going down under Main Street.
The other unusual thing about this, there's no easement. There's no easement or right of way for that culvert.
For the,
It's very strange. In fact, we had,
this is an old village.
we went back and had the surveyor triple check it to make sure, because never heard of anything like that.
Yeah. I bet it came up when, was Mike Mano renovating, the building across the street, because it comes out in the back of that property. Anyway, there's answers to my question somewhere, that without getting a consultant involved, but it'd be useful, because I'm probably not the only one who's gonna question that, because Willowbrook is bringing water down into the drinking source of this town, and there's a lot of people concerned about the purity and, you know, cleanliness and no contamination and so forth of the village water supply, which is Otsego Lake. So that's why, you know, there's a certain sensitivity about that.
The culvert's already there, right?
What's that?
The culvert is there,
Yeah, well,
you know
yes.
that, and what would if your building were built, how would it affect the culvert?
Or we're gonna replace it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, it'll all be replaced. And we're just not gonna I mean, we're going to do a study of our own on it too. I mean, we're not going to, we're going to take a look at it. We'll probably hire an outside consultant to help us,
Oh, well,
so.
It would be helpful if we got a copy of that report.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
that should probably take care of them.
Just thinking, well, I know when the special permit was issued for this hotel in 2016, a lot of the discussion was about sidewalks, especially on Glen Avenue. There was a lot of concern among
Right.
voters. And so I was just wondering if, with this extension of the project, is there a similar concern with sidewalks? And it seems to me like the opposite side of the street of Railroad Avenue is the pedestrian walkway. And
That's
on
right.
this side, we don't have,
Any sidewalks at all.
so
I would-
if the parking is in front, we don't have to be concerned about pedestrian
Right,
traffic.
and we put in a crosswalk there right by the inn for people to use, so if people are trying to access these buildings, they could use the crosswalk and walk up the other side of the street and cross in almost in front of where those buildings are, so,
Right.
yeah, I think that is not
That crosswalk would still
because
be
there'll be
effective for
sidewalks
these
in
newer
nowhere, you know, I mean,
structures.
it's sort of, and I'm sure people, there is sort of like a right that you have in front of the buildings, it's paved along, there's paving blocks and this, right here. Right here, right? So if somebody's coming from, maybe,
There'll be cars parked in front, right?
well, that would be the question, if you're gonna have that extra recess back, pushing the
Right.
building back,
It would be
so that's,
a few feet.
people could walk from that crosswalk to the furthest, to the north residence, without having to walk out into the street.
I mean, that would be,
I think so, I'm just bringing up it so we can make sure.
yeah, no, but I think that's a good point. So there would have to be, and this would have to be, we doing the site plan to ensure that there's pedestrian access to these
So,
buildings.
but for James, as he goes back to the drawing board, we're not saying, like, we've got an established crosswalk in the center of this property, and we think that's adequate to serve the hotel and the new structure.
Correct.
We're not asking him to add a new one in.
But there's no, on this design here, I'm saying when you do that, there's no indication that there's grass, you have grass here in this
So
picture.
it's all grass.
So there's,
So, here's the crosswalk
Yeah,
here,
see.
and then there's the rest.
right, the crosswalk is here. So if somebody comes across the street here, they're gonna wanna walk, these are where the buildings are. Come in, access the front of this property from this side, so this driveway or something needs to be attached with pavement to this side of the property, or for pedestrian or bicycle access or whatever it is. Gotta be in the site plan. Then there's no need for a sidewalk per se, because you've got the parking and the right in front of the buildings, but if the setback has to be sufficient to have a car plus a space for somebody to get, pass by, because in front, the two apartments to get to the third one on the furthest north. We have to review the criteria for a special use permit. Since the trustees have asked us to do that. And I'll go through the list. And this is in section 300-16C, 1 through 16. One is need. The proposed use, with the exception of home occupations, accessory dwellings, and short-term rentals, must meet a demonstrated community need as identified in an adopted municipal plan or land use policy. Well, there is a need for housing. Yeah. So it meets that criteria. Yeah. Adjacent land uses, the proposed use must not be detrimental to its site or to adjacent parcels. The proposed use must be in such location, size, and character that it will be in harmony with its surroundings and with the appropriate orderly developments of the areas in which it is proposed to be situated. The answer is yes, there are homes across the street and there are homes over the back fence. The location and size of use. The nature, volume, and times of operation of the use involved, the size and layout of the site in relation to the use, and the location of the site with respect to existing and future streets, providing access must be in harmony with the orderly development of the area in which it is proposed to be situated. I don't see a problem with that. And 5, density of development, the density of the surrounding area, such as lot size, distances between structures, amount of open space, street width, and parking regulations, must maintain the character of the zoning district in which it is proposed to be situated. It's fine. It's fine. 6, vehicular access and circulation. Provisions for vehicular traffic access and circulation, including intersections, road widths, alignment, grade, pavement surfaces, stormwater infrastructure, visibility, and safety, it's missing something printed here.
Visibility.
Safety, for safety, but not excessive.
Must be.
And I think the only issue there is,
No, what?
the next is parking. Location, arrangement, appearance, and sufficiency of off-site parking spaces and loading berths must be adequate for the proposed use and in harmony with adjacent parcels. The general landscaping of the site must be compatible with plant species generally found in the area and serve to mitigate the visual impact of the parking area. I don't think that's an issue.
No issue.
And 9, layout, the location, arrangement, size, design, and general site compatibility of buildings, lighting, and signage must be in general harmony with the character and appearance of the surrounding neighborhood.
There's no signage, no.
No.
Yeah.
In drainage facilities, erosion control, stormwater management plans and drainage facilities must be in conformance with applicable regulations and must protect natural resources and adjacent parcels. I don't see an issue there. But,
Well, okay, now, is there any issue, rain off the roof and off the hard surfaces here, how is you gonna handle that drainage? And out into the street, or, into Willowbrook, because again, I think that would be, again, one of those, might be an issue, do you think? Because this is a larger impermeable surface put over this area, so I think where the gutters or where the flow of the water is gonna go is gonna be, we wanna know ahead of time, I think, or know what's gonna happen to it.
Okay.
So, that has to be,
that'll be addressed in the site plan.
yeah. Because, we don't, the roof, it's a big piece of property, so there's probably sufficient room to put the water that comes off the roof of this building, but yeah.
Can I ask, is 28 Railroad, does that include the hotel, whatever it is?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so that's what,
Yeah.
and both those types of buildings could be the same.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
So,
you can have two buildings and
yeah, okay.
multiple use.
there's probably no problem, it'd be good to have a drainage scheme in the site plan when it's put up where the water will be drained to. Are there storm sewers out on Railroad Avenue? Do you know if there's storm sewers out on Railroad Avenue there?
I don't think so.
Okay, so then, Guess I know a lot of the water, you know, my street has storm sewers in it, and so the water goes out in storm sewers. So
There's a bunch on our street, I mean, on
cleaning them out all the time.
weather stuff. And there are several storm sewers there.
The site plan specifically requires a grading and drainage plan showing existing and proposed contours.
Right.
So, and once we have the site plan,
Well, we can talk about
we'll have
that.
that information.
But just be, you know, prepared. So, I don't, it probably is not a problem at the end of the day, but, you know, it's one.
The next item is emergency access. Adequate provision for fire, police, and other types of emergency vehicles must be made.
No, that's fine, we have access, really good access.
And 14, lighting. New buildings and structures must be designed, constructed, and maintained, and new and existing vegetation must be managed so as not to unreasonably impede solar radiation on other properties in order to preserve the economic value of solar radiation on buildings, structures, and parcels, investments in solar energy systems, and options for future uses of solar energy. Artificial outdoor lighting must be kept to the minimum intensity needed for the proposed use, fully shielded to minimize glare and prevent light trespass and sky glow, and confined within the boundaries of the property. So this will all be shown on the site plan. 15, noise, odor, and other irritants. Adequate nuisance prevention measures have been or will be taken to prevent or control offensive odors, fumes, dust, noise, and vibration that would hinder or discourage the development or use of adjacent parcels and property. I don't see that as an issue here. And the last is fiscal considerations. The proposed use will not require such additional public facilities or devices as to create a net fiscal burden upon the village greater than those which characterize uses permitted by right. That's an issue here.
I just found on the plans from the old special permit, it shows where there's a storm drain, an existing storm drain. It runs all the way across the back of the property to a new catch basin right where they put in the driveway.
Okay.
And during this phase of the plans, they also added a catch basin down here where we were talking about, you know, putting these new apartments. So there should be a new catch basin here and one up here as well in the back. And then you've got this long storm drain here.
So there's places to put the water. Yeah.
Yeah. So they exist.
One thing is a very flat piece of property, so, you know, which is good in some instances, but not so good in other instances, because sometimes the water doesn't drain off flatness very well sometimes, but that's probably why those drains are in there, to take care of that problem.
If the trustees grant a special use permit, if they impose conditions, those conditions must be included in the site plan when it's ultimately put together. Do you have any questions for
Well,
us?
I guess, Justin, Chris is gonna get back to me with the setback for, from the road, for the drive, and then you're going to give me the information to include in a site
Yes.
plan. And then we'll do that, and then we resubmit that site plan to you,
Yes.
to this board. Okay, okay.
And just, if this is helpful for clarifying, there's so many boards, when we say the zoning board of appeals may or may not be involved, it's in a case like this front setback where they wouldn't be involved, but if we were trying to build within that setback, that's where they would come into play. So you don't really have to think about that board unless there's something like a variance or something like that we need to mostly, unless we spot a situation like that, you won't have to deal with the zoning board of appeals at all.
Okay, but this is the planning board too, or,
This is the planning board.
okay,
Right.
okay.
And you went through HBOB, the architectural review board already, so you met with them,
I have,
yeah, so.
they had a lot of comments. I'm not sure they're all legitimate, because there were comments about the interior of the building, and that they don't have, that's not their preview.
Yeah.
So, but they did have comments on the exterior of the building. We're going to address some of those. I guess the biggest one was, and it was only came from one member of the board, was to put the garage in the back. So I don't know if they're going to enforce that or whatever.
Well,
I mean, it was
I
a,
think,
it was a comment. It wasn't mandated or anything. I mean,
yeah.
I have to meet with them again, so.
I would argue in that case that these are starter properties, or not owned, but rental properties for maybe a couple could have a small child or something, and that yard in back is important to have as a play area for little children, or to walk your dog or something, out there, and having a driveway and park cars out there is not the best use of that space, would be my view. You want a little yard space
I've lived in about half a dozen,
what's that?
more than that, and it's where the garage has always been attached to the house. You can see it from the street, so you can drive into it. I mean,
I think this is something that's not common, but there are some homes in this village that have garages out by the street, garage doors, but not very many. It's
also the commercial district, so it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
different flavor.
But yeah, this is a commercial district, exactly.
Right.
also, most of the houses in this district were built before you needed a garage. I have a carriage house.
Yeah.
We don't need a carriage anymore.
Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you again.
You're back, you're back.
We'll give you this before you leave.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I hope this gets done soon.
All right, so we'll get you the setback measurement exactly,
Okay.
whatever it is. These are based on tax maps, which unfortunately aren't always exactly true to. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, it doesn't matter.
It won't be a problem.
Yeah, nailing it down in the exact couple feet.
Just want to say, a couple of minutes before we get to the minutes, so you can copy this.
Yes.
It's free, and
Thank you.
I printed it, I have.
I think you can do this.
Site.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll see you again.
All right,
Well,
good.
sure.
want another copy of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have the date next of June's meeting? Let me go to the calendar.
It'll be the third Tuesday.
Right. 17, no, 18, it doesn't matter. I'm having surgery on the 20th.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah.
I have.
Any suggestions or comments?
Yes. If I could have one small, possible change. After, on this third page, about halfway down, it says that, I had asked if we would require an inventory of all the trees in the village, but on the recording, that was not me. I did ask if there was a problem with unnecessary tree removal, but I think the first part of that was Mr. Lee. I think you asked
Yes.
about,
Yeah,
so
that's it.
if I could have that.
Yeah, we'll make
Thank-
that correction.
Thank you.
Village, so this is. Richard,
The first part is Richard and the second one is Kathy.
Kathy, yes,
Yep.
okay.
Thank you.
We always look at the minutes for what we supposedly said.
I just wanted to make sure it was clear, so thank you, sorry about that.
Okay. Anything else?
It's really so-
Me.
I moved to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Unanimous. I move to adjourn at 5:29 PM.
You know what it is?
I guess everybody agrees. Okay, you're adjourned.
Okay, go ahead with the
I just want to let everyone know,